A Tale of Two Students by Jessica Pierce for Higher Education 691 Student Development Theory. This is my final assignment. Hello, my name is Jessica, and after this class I will have completed my second class in the Higher and Post-Secondary Education Master's Program. I chose the student interview option for my final assignment because I thought it would be the most interesting to interview students and track their development using the theories we have learned in this class. I interviewed two students for this project. First, I interviewed a 21-year-old undergraduate student who I'm calling Molly. She is a biological sciences major at Arizona State University. Second, I interviewed a 25-year-old graduate student who I'm calling Sarah. She is in the same higher and post-secondary education master's program as I am. The two theories I am using to analyze these students are: first, Arthur Chickering's theory of identity development, and second, Marcia Baxter Magolda's theory of self-authorship. I'm going to give a brief overview of the theory, then go into analyzing each student using one of the theories. First up, I will be using Arthur Chickering's theory to analyze Molly. Arthur Chickering first outlined his theory in his 1969 book, Education and Identity. His theory was formed from research he did between 1959 and 1969. The theory provides an overview of the developmental issues that college students face, and his later research also had him examine environmental conditions that influence student development. He realized that the establishment of identity was a major issue that students faced during their college years. During his research, he administered tests and did interviews with students. He also asked students to keep diaries. His initial goal with this research was to help faculty create programs that enhance student development. Little did he know the profound effect on the student affairs profession he was going to have with this theory. Chickering's theory proposes 7 vectors of development that contribute to the formation of identity. The 7 vectors are: developing competence, managing emotions, moving through autonomy toward interdependence, developing mature interpersonal relationships, establishing identity, developing a purpose, and developing integrity. After interviewing Molly and hearing about her college experience thus far, I think that she is in the process of developing her purpose. Molly showed me that she has moved through the other vectors, and here are some examples. She has developed competence in all 3 areas that Chickering mentions: intellectual, physical, and interpersonal, through succeeding in her studies, enjoying cardio and running races, and through being involved in various programs on campus like the School of Life Sciences Ambassador Program, being a tutor in the Learning Resource Center for her school, and also a mentor at the camp for incoming freshmen in her school. Molly manages her emotions by knowing how to de-stress when needed, like going for a run, walking outside, or spending time with her friends, just having time for herself. Molly has independence, but is also close with her family. She explained that she has become more independent since coming to college. Molly explains, "I think my relationship with my mom has grown since being in college. She still helps me with finances and some decisions, but ultimately she tells me that it's my life and I need to do what I think is right." Molly mentioned her friends and has value in her relationships on campus. She relies on them to help her de-stress at times, and she also has been introduced to a more diverse group of students and faculty since coming to ASU. She said, "You start to see different points to situations that you wouldn't if you only talked to people who thought like you." For Molly's identity, she's pretty comfortable and mostly agrees with how other people see her. Outgoing, helpful, and energetic. But she thinks other people see her as overweight and not active. But she actually does a lot of races, like so far in 2017 she has already run in 4 races. The next vector is developing purpose, and I think this is where Molly currently is. She has her major in school that she is excelling in, and she has a goal of becoming a medical examiner after attending medical school once she graduates from ASU. But she doesn't see these things as her purpose, rather, just as she says, what I need to do. I want to note that I do think Molly has integrity, which is the next vector. Her career choice shows integrity. One reason she wants to become a medical examiner is to help provide closure to families when a loved one passes away. But I think once Molly establishes her purpose, she will continue to develop in this vector as well. Now I'm going to move on to the next student that I interviewed, Sarah. I will be using Marcia Baxter Magolda's theory to analyze Sarah's development. Baxter-Magolda's theory of self-authorship was influenced by her work with students at Miami University. She focused on the epistemological development of students, which is the study of the nature and limits of human knowledge. Baxter-Magolda later found evidence that her participants' epistemological development was intertwined with the development of their sense of self and relationships with others. So she extended her research to focus on the students' overall experience, which led to the development of self-authorship. So what is the definition of self-authorship? It's the internal capacity to define one's beliefs, identity, and social relations. Unfortunately, college environments often do not create the conditions necessary for self-authorship to develop, and many students struggle with the challenges they face. So she decided to focus on the development of students during their college years, but also into their post-college years. The path to self-authorship has 4 phases. Phase 1, following formulas. Phase 2, crossroads. Phase 3, becoming the author of one's life. And Phase 4, internal foundation. After interviewing Sarah, I think that she is at Phase 2, crossroads. Phase 1 is following formulas, which is when individuals internalize external expectations and focus on how they should accomplish their work. Sarah followed formulas in beginning her journey toward her goal of becoming an academic advisor. After hearing that she wouldn't be able to get an academic advising job without a master's, she set on the path to get a job, pay her way through graduate school, graduate, become an advisor. Not realizing that this path may not end up being fulfilling for her, but pursuing it anyway because that seemed like the path that had to be done. This brings Sarah to Phase 2, crossroads, where individuals start to question decisions they have made and see the need to create their own sense of self, that being more authentic would be preferable. Sarah explains her hesitations about her current program. Some days I feel really good about my decision to work in higher ed and study in this program, but other days I think about the kind of life that would really make me happy and I wonder if I made the right move. On one hand, I feel like coming to grad school is helping me define my purpose. I have always liked helping people, and I truly believe that assisting people in getting an education is one of the best ways you can help them. On the other hand, I have always had an entrepreneurial side. I think that Sarah will move on to Phase 3, becoming the author of one's life, where individuals have the ability to choose one's beliefs and stand up for them when she feels satisfied with her decision of her program, even though her end goal has changed possibly. Being in your mid-20s is a hard time, but it is a time to explore your interests and see what can come of them. While Sarah is conflicted on her current program or end goal, she explains what she has been given: the opportunity to meet some amazing and empowered women who have totally thrived in their careers in higher ed. I hope that I am able to continue working my way up through roles with increasing responsibility. One day, I would love to be in charge of an office that works to help first generation and minority students find success throughout their college years and beyond. This will lead her to Phase 4, internal foundation. Perhaps this will come to Sarah when she feels content in her career, if she finds a work position that she enjoys, or something else completely that brings her peace, contentment, and inner strength. In conclusion, I want to point out that Molly and Sarah are both in their early to mid-20s, and I think they are both developing well for their age. They are still working on their life path, but they are very well-rounded, intelligent, and determined young ladies. I think it was a great learning experience to apply 2 of the theories we learned in class to these real-life students. This project made me evaluate myself along the way, and I realized that I can relate a lot to these students, and I can see bits of myself in each of them. While I am on my own path of development, I know that my undergraduate and graduate experiences will make a valuable contribution to my future self. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my tale of 2 students.